Yo, 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 yo. What is good, people? It is Jason Gooner again in the studio, and we are back for another EPL review show. Match week 5 in the books. All 10 matches, 20 teams, played games, and we are here to break it all down. And also, of course, reveal the prediction table for the week. All right, people. So definitely sort out myself. Yeah. So we're back again, people, to discuss some football. My favorite thing to do. Watch a lot of football this weekend, as I always do, and we're here to talk about it all. Yes, people. Yes, people. So definitely today, we'll talk about the game at length. Arsenal versus Manchester City, of course. Um, Initial thoughts on the game. Obviously, when the team comes out, you see the midfield and you say, okay, he likes the control aspect of it. But I think Arteta needs to realize at this point that Arsenal is considered a formidable opponent to every team, right? And you don't necessarily have to set up your team in a way where you think that you're going to have all this control and be solid. You have to have your X factors out there, at least a few. And I think that's where we went wrong today in the first half. For all the dominance in possession and territory, the real good chances fell to the other team because that cutting edge wasn't there. But people, we're going to talk about that game at length as well as all 10. So get used to, get in the building, relax, grab you something for drink. And yeah, we're going to run the show nice and easy and quickly. So people, big up on yourselves again for tuning in. Anybody that is a subscriber to the channel, we greatly appreciate the subscription. Anybody that is a member, all the members, big up on yourself. Please big up on yourself. Great way to support the channel as well. Find the join button. Become a member of Jason Gooner TV. It's a great way to support. Also, I want to big up all the people that always take part in the predictions. Anybody that miss it week to week will know say, yo, life happen. So I understand. And everybody that take part every time were really big up. One of the real general them. Yeah, man. So that is it, people. We're building a community, so we enjoy reasoning the football with the people. Big up the float management in the building from early. Big up to Hot Chili as well. Big up yourself, Chili. Yeah, man, Chili. War today, When I know Pep look like him borrow the keys for one I bust them, you know? Yeah, man, I was so surprised to see Pep do that. But it is what it is. Sign of the times. Sign of the times. So people, when it's a show, or we get right down into the football from early. First game of the weekend, bright and early Saturday morning. Merseyside derby at Anfield. Great way to start the Premier League week. The only team with a perfect record going into week 5, Liverpool. 4 wins from 4. They were trying to make it 5 against an Everton team that has shown glimpses of having a formidable setup, but a bit streaky, in their play. Not necessarily consistently playing well, but in spells they look really good. So this game, based on how Liverpool's defense has looked throughout the season against most teams they have played, going into this game, I thought it would probably be a close game, and it did turn out to be so. But when the game started, it never felt like it was going to be that way. Liverpool came out relentless as they usually do at Anfield, and um, yeah, they were able to get the breakthrough relatively early, and they scored early, and even when they scored, you could say that it was coming. It's not like it came out of nowhere. So they were really dominant in the early stages of the game, and that continued until they were able to double their lead. But I want to talk about the first goal. So one of the things I've noticed with Liverpool, because I know we like to analyze. One of the things I noticed with Liverpool this season is their midfield is a lot less rigid in terms of the positioning of the players. So, Gravenberg, I think Slot has probably realized it might be a waste if I just have him playing the six all the time. I need to give him more freedom to get involved. Because if you notice this season, like I haven't even looked at this, but let's just take a look at his heat map. So obviously the bulk of his touches in the build-up phase. But look at all those touches inside the opponent's half, even inside their box, right on top of the box, wide in the attacking third. So I think he has been given a lot more freedom. And what that has ended up doing, look at Sobersly's heat map. So it's almost like the inverse version or the inverted version of Gravenberch one, right? So that simply means they are just pretty much given the freedom to read the game and see what is required. If Gravenberch advances ahead of you, you fall into a space that he would occupy. And the same can be said for McAllister. Look at the variation there. Touches in the attacking third, touches in the build-up phase. So it's almost like all three of them played this. They all played the three positions. You see that on the sofa score screen right here. You see where they are? All three of them played all those positions. And I think that right there is a part of the reason why Liverpool is so relentless when you play them. Because at any given time, whatever your weakness is, any other players in those positions are willing to take up that space to hurt you. And that was evidenced in the first goal. That's why I talked about this for so long. Because if Gravenberch doesn't have the freedom to make that run beyond Ekitike, beyond Soboslai, beyond everybody, then that space is just there, not getting breached. Salah plays it over the top. Now Gravenberch has to have an incredible technique to finish it off. But the fact that he makes that run from his starting position where he started from is something that I noticed with Liverpool this season. Just a little more freedom of the midfield three, where Soboslai is collecting the ball off the defense. McAllister is, Gravenberch is, it's a constant interchange in that midfield. And I think that's a part of the reason why as well they look a little bit vulnerable on the counter, because I think Gravenberch does have the best skill set to, deal with a counter attack if he's the deepest midfield player. But sometimes when they get countered, it doesn't end up that he's the deepest player in the field. And I think that's why sometimes they're a bit more open. So life is about balance, and so is football. If they have that relentless interchanging in midfield, yes, it'll hurt them when teams break on them. But when they have the ball, it causes a lot of problems for the opponent. So that is it right there. That's something that I noticed about Liverpool this year. A little bit more freedom in the midfield spaces. And I think it's way more noticeable when Wirtz is not playing. I think when Wirtz is playing, it's a little bit less like that, because I think he doesn't really want to give Wirtz that responsibility to be the player that's furthest back in that three, if it so happens that the play turns out to be that way, So with this balance of Soboslai, Gravenberch, and McAllister, you can more do that, because all three of them have adequate enough skills to do it, Pep decided to be a next ball manager today, Lauren Donaldson. The thing is, though, if Lauren Donaldson had Pep's team, I don't know if he would play like that. But, who knows still. Yeah. But Ekitike scored the second goal, and it was another brilliant move. A 5-6. I think it was maybe more about 8-pass sequence, ending up with Ekitike after a great pass from Gravenberch again. Good weight on the pass, just one touch to kind of set the finish. And then he got it off at the right time. Good placement. And at that point, when it was 2-0, it felt like Liverpool would have no end to the goals because they were really on top of Everton all throughout that period. But then, Everton woke up. Something happened towards the end of that first half, and Everton started to play a lot better. Really started to get into the game more. Good turn on the wing, combining well with Dewsbury Hall, and they started to become more of an influence in the game. So they grew into the game, and half before when they didn't get a goal before halftime, I felt it for them because I thought, once Liverpool sat down at halftime again, came back out, they'd probably stamp their authority. And they did start out the better team in the second half, but Everton did get back into it as well, and they did find a goal, a nice cross to the back post, and I laid it off, and Idrissa Gueye put it away brilliantly past Alisson. So that made it 2-1, and the game was pretty much back and forth after that. I mean, Everton had their half chances, Liverpool had a few chances as well, and the game ended off with I think Anfield and Liverpool supporters happy that the game was finished. It felt like Everton might find one, but it wasn't meant to be. And yeah, this game I think really came down to Everton just not showing up early enough in that first half, and you go down 2-0 at Anfield, and it's gonna be tough from that point to get something out of the game. But they fought hard, and they had a much better second half than first. Um, yeah, if you look at the only one big chance registered in the game fell to Liverpool. So a lot of half chances, a lot of good incidents around goal. As you can see there, Everton had more final third entries than Liverpool. You wouldn't have thought that, but there were spells of the game where Everton were definitely on the front foot more than Liverpool. But I feel like that stretch of time when Liverpool got their first two goals, that was the most dominant either team was for the game. So you can't discredit that part of the match. Um, but I think Liverpool, they'll be happy for the 3 points. I think Arne Slot will look at himself and say there's some things that he probably would want to clean up. I think that what I talked about with them on the counter being a bit vulnerable, he's going to have to figure out a way to minimize that a little bit better. But I think at the end of the day, Slot will probably also say to himself, why would I change? We have played five, we have won five, we're the Premier League champions. I don't need to second guess what I'm doing. And that's probably the smartest thing he could do, because no matter how vulnerable they may look, no matter you know how many chances they might not be creating compared to before, they're finding ways to win games. And when the whistle is blown and the game is over, they are having more goals than the other team. So that is all anybody could want as a footballer, a coach, a fan, anything. Bless up, Nitro. Wagwan. Big up yourself. Gunners. Yeah, man, Martinelli save your life. Big up, Mr. Butter in the building. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. What time over them side there now? 3 in the morning. Big up yourself. Yeah, man, as the people them roll in, you don't know, smash the like button, share, subscribe. I never even share my own video star. I don't know why. All right, let's see. Yeah, so that's so amazing to me that the entries went the way of Everton, more final third entries. But yeah, when you look at the lineups as well, big Ekitike got the nod over Isak, right? But in midfield, for the first time in the Premier League this season, Verts didn't get the start, so he came off the bench. Gakpo was really quiet in this game. Salah, apart from the assist, was pretty quiet as well for the most part. But Ekitike took his goal really well. And Isak came on, and to be honest, Isak and Verts to a lesser extent, because I think Vert has shown like a flashes of play where you can kind of see that it's not really that he's uncomfortable with the team or anything like that. I think he just needs to kind of figure out the EPL way in a way. Like he just, I don't know, sometimes he just seems like he wants a little more time than he has, and he just needs to get that clock in his brain moving a little bit quicker. That's at least that's my observation of Vert so far. But Verts, he came on, didn't really influence the game as much as Slater he himself would want. But Isak did look a little bit out of sorts to me. Um, just sometimes like standing in spaces where it just doesn't look natural. Like he's trying to find where his space would be in whatever phase of play it is. So with him, you can kind of it's noticeable how much less time he would have been there than Ekitike. Just feels like Ekitike when he makes a run where he wants the ball, it makes sense within the team framework. Whereas Isak is just like, all right, I know if I make this run now and somebody passes, I probably could score, but it don't really make sense in what I see going on with the rest of the team. So he needs to kind of, assimilate himself better with how Liverpool is playing. Because all the things I see Ekitike doing to look as a part of the team, I know that Isak has that skill set as well. But I just don't, I think he's thinking too much right now. So, for my sake as an Arsenal fan, I hope he thinks forever. But, obviously at some point, I think it will click for him and Liverpool. So, in the meantime, hopefully Ekitike can cool down. But for now, people, Liverpool just keep on rolling along. So 5 wins from 5 there and 15 points. And, no better feeling as an EPL fan to just see a team win and then chill and watch everybody else play. I'm in Asia, 9:15 a.m. Oh, okay. So we are start up the day. All right. Bless up. Gotta respect what Moses is doing. He has that team playing, and they brought in some good players. Grealish balling. Yeah. Grealish did his thing in this game. Like it's almost like every time he touch a ball, him get fouled and kind of create space for a teammate, and later after them get into space, get it back. Like he was very influential in the good things that Everton did. And he just has a way to just glide, and he's playing with a lot more freedom, kind of, wanting to look more like the Aston Villa, Jack Grealish, or, the best version of Grealish when he was at City, which we never got to see a lot, but when he did play well for City, it looked real good. It just didn't happen enough or often enough for his sake. But yeah, Everton, they are playing better football, Mr. Batter, I must say. Grealish normally plays good versus Liverpool. That's true. That's true. I wonder if that had anything to do with why he went to Everton. Him say Rooney did link him and talk to him. No, it's Rooney? Yeah, I think it was Rooney. All right, so Liverpool got the win, as I said, people. 5 from 5 so far. Next fixture, Brighton and Tottenham. Now this game was an interesting game because it was almost in the beginning of the game like how Brighton. It was weird because Tottenham really started out better. Like they were playing better than Brighton in the beginning. And you can see the lineups here. Richarlison, Kudus, Odegaard. Odegaard was causing problems. Kudus was causing problems. The midfield battle was being won by Paulinho, Bentancur, Berval. They were really the protagonists to start the game. And then a brilliant counter move. Ruta played a pass to Minte, who once he gets running, you're not gonna catch him. I don't care if it's Van de Ven or who it is. And he ran through, rounded Vicario nicely and slotted it. Long VAR check, but he was onside, and it was very close, but he was onside. And then, Tottenham, after that, weather in a little storm, they came back at Brighton again, and it was almost looking like it was inevitable for Tottenham to get an equalizer, and then little runner play on the wing, left side, and then Ayari comes away with it, cuts inside and just blasts one from the corner of the 18. And I thought it had some huge swerve on it or something. I mean, yes, it swerved a little bit, but Vicario, he looked back at that and said, boy, my hand was way too weak for that shot. My hand was way too weak for that shot. So 2-0 down, Tottenham, and I'm thinking, yo, I don't like Tottenham. I hate Tottenham as a matter of fact. But I'm watching the football game and I'm saying, damn, this don't make sense because Tottenham actually playing better than the other team and them down 2-0. Right? Now, as much as I said that about Tottenham playing better, as Mr. Buttard say in the comment section, he's so right. Minte is a problem. And from minute one, anytime the man start run down that flank, it was an issue for Udogie. And Udogie, I was surprised that Spence didn't start because, you know, I mean, he didn't play the best in his last game in the Premier League, but I don't know. He's just been the one playing. Now it makes sense because they're in the Champions League. You have to remember them playing midweek as well. So, you know, maybe he's just thinking, let me protect Spence a little bit and not play him again. You know, he played Porro, who played already midweek. So, and he played the other two defenders. So basically probably wanted to just have one fresh person at least on that back line. But yeah, he struggled with Minte and his pace. And Van de Ven did look like he was feeling the effects of playing so much minutes as well in this game at times. So, you know, we said it all season that these teams that are in the Champions League, you have to really pay attention to what they did during the week. You know, how much is that going to affect what they're able to do on the weekend? I said that in the preview for this game. Now, actually, you are correct, bro. You did get actually the first two games of the weekend correct. Because a lot of us actually, Joseph Brown, Fitzroy, Hatchili, Duckland, Jagarns, myself, all got the Liverpool Everton 2-1. But the only person that got this one right was Hatchili, 2-all. So well done to Hatchili. Did get it spot on. Yeah, so but then Tottenham really started to turn on the pressure before halftime, and Richarlison was able to find a goal after some good interplay inside the box. Kudus took a shot that basically just ricocheted off Richarlison, got a bit of luck for it to drop back to his feet, and he was able to put it home. Actually, no, I should give him more credit than that. He kind of controlled the shot pass and then slide it in after a ricochet into the goal. So that made it 2-1 going into halftime. And to be honest, Tottenham probably did deserve at least a one goal in the first half based on how they played. You know, Richarlison was a threat coming close a few times. And overall, they were just, I thought, more consistently dangerous in the first half. Then in the second half, it was much more the same. For the most part, Tottenham dominated the second half up until they finally got the breakthrough, you know, after bringing on players. You know, they brought on Xavi Simons. He was influential as well from when he came on. Brennan Johnson came on, wasn't as influential, but I think his pace threat did push back Brighton even more. So, yeah, Other Bear had started to tire. So that was a good sub to just bring on another, you know, super pacey player on that wing, keep them honest. And I think also what I saw from Thomas Frank, which I think is what they should do moving forward, especially if they're not going to have my boy the name James Maddison or Kulusevski. Xavi Simons, when he was playing for Tottenham so far, always been playing off the left, but I think they should play him a little more central. It's almost like how, you know, I like how Eza was playing central today as opposed to left wing. I mean, I don't care which one in play, I just want him play. But to be honest, in the midfield, it just looks like so much more natural to him. I don't know if anybody else got that, but like I said, we're going to talk about the Arsenal game in a minute. But yeah, Xavi Simons really is who I was talking about. And I'm just thinking, based on how I see him playing today and how much more influence he had, I think they should keep him central. But Thomas Frank, don't watch this because I'd rather you play him out wide. But no, they were able to get the goal after Kudus cross couldn't get handled in the box, and Van Hecke kind of came at him really quickly, and he could only ricochet into his own goal for 2-2. Then after that point, Brighton really put the pressure on Tottenham to end the game. But there were no other goals, and it ended 2-2. Good game though, entertaining, good attacking play at times. And I think on the balance of play, while Tottenham was more dominant, I think Brighton was very effective when they had the football as well. So I would say a draw is probably a fair result. If you're really being honest and you're analyzing what happened in the game, Tottenham, I think, should have done more with their openings, because I think they had like the better looking openings and opportunities and everything. But I thought Brighton did a better job just maximizing whenever they got in and around anything. They more often than not were getting something off. And that's evidenced by, one more shot on target, even, for all the times that Tottenham got into dangerous situations, they just didn't finish it off enough with a shot on target. So I think it was fair draw for them, and that was a good entertaining game. Now Burnley and Forest, this one ended 1-1, both goals being scored in the first 20 minutes of the game. But Nico Williams' goal was probably, well, IR's was a cracker as well, but Nico Williams' goal was fired in on the top of the box. It was a corner, kind of broke out to him on the top of the box, and he smashed it to make it 1-0. Then quite a scramble goal by Jaden Anthony. I think at first they were saying it was an own goal for Zinchenko, but I think that was changed eventually, and Jaden Anthony got that goal. So Jaden Anthony, he's somebody that can play for a certain national team. So yeah, Jaden, yeah, do the right thing. But yeah, he's on fire right now, scoring goals, getting assists. And Burnley, they have, one of the things I think is kind of interesting is the promoted teams this season. All of them really competing, getting points. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the promoted teams went unbeaten this week. 1 win and 2 draws. So that's just kind of refreshing. I think it was this preseason we're talking about. Is it possible for these teams to stay up? And to be honest, it's been done a little differently by both. I think Burnley, they pretty much, made a lot of loan moves to get up from the championship, and in the end, they have made a lot of those guys permanent moves. Whereas I think Sunderland and Leeds, to a lesser extent, probably Leeds, have kind of gone to the market to try to make things, a bit better for them to try to stay up. So they're doing it all different ways, and it's just refreshing to see that every time you play one of those teams, it don't necessarily mean it's a 3 points. Just for the league itself. It was a good game to watch. I like how Brighton play the game. Quick passing and movements, positive football. Yeah, they definitely play a brand of football that makes the game exciting. And I think it also lends itself to them being way out of shape sometimes when teams attack on them. So, it's about balance, Mr. Battered. What do you do? Are you not entertained? Well, you're going to also be worrying at times in the game. But hey, such is life when you're getting entertained sometimes. Big up, SSB. Wagwan. Arteta pissed me off today. Not you alone. Why you got 3 DM? Well, it's not really 3 DMs because Mikel Merino ain't a DM. But the problem with Mikel Merino is he's a cam that really has the attributes of a CM. I wouldn't say he's a DM because he's not just going to stand there, sit and collect ball from back four. That's not really what he does. But the problem with him is that he don't drive with the football. He can't do that. And a lot of times when the player in that area for us get the ball, it's really imperative that them drive forward. And a couple of times, them start whistling when them get the ball there and go backwards. Arteta is a coward. Yeah, I mean, it's clear. Bless up Jamrock. Hope all is well. When you're going to start doing a show on the JPL. I'm not doing a show on the JPL. I watch it though. I watch the Portmore who them just beat Portmore mobile game. The two love what them just get. Yeah, I'm watch it. I'm watch piece of the earlier game. Racing and Dundee in Nillard. I mean, I want to watch Ellis play. Yeah, but I'm not doing a whole show on the JPL, bro. Man, them the day I do them show Jamrock, man. I guess I'm gonna get my JPL news from him. Bam Sports, them and JamPL fan, them and Knockins, them and the whole of them where I put out the JPL content. Big them up same way. Thought he was a striker. The whole world thought he was a striker. Brighton is fine as long as Baliba on the pitch to clean up. Notice Spurs benefited when he was off second half. Apparently, him and his coach having issues after the failed summer move. Yeah. Well, look, Baliba looks a little bit to me. I wouldn't say disinterested, but you can tell like he's not, like even like, he would concede a corner in the first half, and like I think if he was really locked in, he would have tried to clear that ball, but him like it went over his shoulder and he must boot it out towards the crowd and thing and just concede a corner, and just him body language and thing don't look right. So I think the coach is trying to like play him out of it, but he probably saw some of the body language things I would have saw as well and just say, you know what, for this man, sell out my team, take him off. But yeah, Baliba does help a lot in that area with the way they play. So you're right about that. But it's still a bit suicidal still. All right, so this one ended 1-1, and it could have gone either way, to be honest, after the two goals that scored. But in the end, the goalkeepers did their thing, and nobody was able to get another goal on the score sheet. This one ended in a 1-1 draw. So Burnley continuing to be difficult to break down at home. Well, yeah, Nottingham Forest probably think they played well enough to win, but I think it was a good performance from Dubravka and the rest of the defenders to get the job done for them. Chris Wood definitely not his best day. He had a big chance that he missed. I think the other one fall to, that was an Endai. Bakwa? No. Who did the other chance fall to? That was the big chance again. I try to remember. Can't remember star. Soon tell you. Right, that was a good chance. I think it was like in the second half. No. This one. A rotted black. But yeah, wicked defending on that play. I can't remember. I should give credit to who made that play, but it was a wicked tackle. But yeah, Burnley get another point. Proving tough to beat at Turf Moor. They were very stingy last season in terms of goals conceded, especially at home. And again, they only concede one, and they find one to leave and go home that day with a point. Forest has to settle for the draw. Moving on, West Ham, Crystal Palace, another London derby. In this one, as you can see, Bowen getting his customary goal, but Crystal Palace with goals either side. Jean-Philippe Mateta after a corner, Tyreek Mitchell after pretty much a botched headed clearance, and with his weaker right foot volleying neatly into the goal. Areola could do nothing about it. So 2-1 to Crystal Palace. They won this fixture. Good win for them. Big up to Jaguars who got this one right. Also, Biggs G, Duckland, Hot Chili as well. and Game Birds all got 2-1 for Crystal Palace. So a lot of people got this one correct. But Mateta getting the goal and then Tyreek Mitchell Bowen getting the goal. Diouf had the corner and that goal. Areola, definitely, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. At one point, he was really good in a man. It's just not the same anymore. But yeah, West Ham, I have somebody on the cover. Probably think I might have put Arteta on there one time. So Arteta, him not on there today. Today is Graham Potter, right? So hold on there. We can see Potter. Sure. I eat it too. Graham Potter. Marvin on the title. Marvin on the thumbnail, people. You know why? This one have to get sacked. Read the article a while ago, them already I look for 4 candidates. Take the man job. So people, you think this man gonna get sacked? Like, would you continue at this point with Graham Potter? It don't even look like them have any hope. And it's looking like that one little phantom victory what they had. I look, West Ham, Potter can't trick me, You see this win? You see this 3-0 right here, so? That's fraudulent. This is fraud. You know why? Nuno was still there. And all the madness was still going on. Look how the player them play. But they never business, brother. I just Sells and Anderson alone turn up. So yeah, I don't trust this 3-0. I don't believe it. This wasn't real. AI victory. So him trick with that so. Oh well, trick some people that's so. But look on all the else people. 5 out of 6 games the man them lose. Not even a couple draw for the Sarah draw. So people, I don't know. You have the international break coming up after the Arsenal game. Would you give him till the Arsenal game? I mean, Everton away, Arsenal away. That's what the man have to finish off this part of the season with before the next international break. But I think you just sack him, man. I'm not convinced by Forest, bro. I don't think Gans is the right fit for them. He's been brought in to win them Europa, looks like. But it's coming like when Emery kept on getting hired by the teams in the Europa. Well, I just one Ange winning us, so and he said it's always in his second season, so I don't know. Yeah, but I'm not convinced by them either. I think when you're a team that have a certain calling card, it's very difficult to just up and change the identity because even like, all right, somebody like Milenkovic as a perfect example. Like when the team had a solid structure and setup, Milenkovic is like one of the best defenders, But look at the amount of mistakes he has made already this year. I think that stems from, changing the way you're playing or trying to. And then maybe those players are not as comfortable playing that way. You expose them more. And it literally it's exposing him. Bless up Jagans. Palace the other unbeaten side along with Liverpool in the league this weekend, the unbeaten derby. You see it. Liverpool, I like play Palace, Bless up. Big up yourself, RR. West Ham look like they headed to the championship in full speed, boy. May I tell you. But yeah, West Ham people, I don't know. I don't think there are any West Ham fans here. But if any West Ham fans watch this video, I just want to know: would you sack Graham Potter today? Would you give him until the international break? What would you do with Graham Potter? Me personally, I don't see why I don't sack him. It don't look like it can work. I swear, it just don't look so. They need something to happen. Sometimes just changing the manager is enough, you know. But boy, that look rough on him now if him get sacked from them to know. All right, so let's get this back up. People, smash up the like button. Smash that like button. Get us to the 25 likes quick and fast. And then we'll adjust the target, you know. All right, moving along. Enough about West Ham. Crystal Palace. You know, look, they played a good game today. You know, I thought they were the better side for the most part. You know, West Ham, you know, looked dangerous at times, but not with enough consistency for me. I think Palace looked like the more dangerous team more often than not. Um, and you know, if you ever watch my show, I always say I rate Oliver Glasner. I think he's a good manager, and yeah, he kind of reminds me a little bit of I shouldn't even say reminds me. I should give Glasner more respect. But yeah, I just rate Oliver Glasner. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good coach. Why am I here? All right, so moving right along, next game, Wolves and Leeds. Now this one, I don't know, man. I kind of thought that perhaps Strand Larson coming back and help them off the bench. Leeds coming into the game hadn't really played so well away from home. You know, most of their really good performances have been at home. So I just said, look, if there's a game when Wolves going to get off the mark, is this one. I had predicted a 2-1 Wolves win. And my prediction was looking half decent after 8 minutes. A nice team goal, Krejci running through from midfield and nice neat finish over the goalkeeper. Then after that point, Leeds pretty much said, we are the better team, you know. So they had a big spell of some really good football, really good play, and then the first goal comes, Bogle deflected cross basically, and Calvert-Lewin did really well to score from where he did. With no little to no pace on the cross, he was able to loop a header in to make it 1-1. And then the second goal was a thing of beauty, probably up there for goal of the weekend for me. I should really start doing a goal of the weekend polling. What do you guys think? But yeah, the goal at top score, the midfielder from Leeds, the free kick, whew, brilliant, brilliant free kick. Jose Sarr had no chance. And then the last goal was a good one as well. Good through pass to Okafor. And he was able to slot it home past Jose Sarr. And when that went 3-1, halftime whistle blows, boos all around the stadium. It was toxic. But credit to Wolves. I thought, look, they did lose the game 3-1, right? After being up 1-0. But the second half performance, again, I've always said this about this Wolves team, if you continue to make things happen on the football pitch and you're not getting the results, eventually you're going to get rewarded. And even last year, when Gary O'Neill was the manager, it got a bit toxic and the defense wasn't defended. But when this guy took over and when he first started, they had a little bounce and then they started losing again. And I said, but in these games, they're not playing badly. Look at the overall stats, look at chances and everything like that, and expected goals and everything. And this is another example of that, right? 1.78 expected goals and then lose 3-1 to a team with 0.48. So expected goals ain't the end all be all of everything, and this proves it. But at the end of the day, games like this are more anomalies. You can typically match up the expected goals to who win. Typically, right? So let's not look at this and say, oh, whatever you want to say. Look at all the more shots that Wolves had than Leeds. The entries as well. 40 more entries for the home team. So on another day, things go your way a little more. You're able to carve out even more clear chances. And yeah, I don't think that the goalkeeper did them any favors. I thought the Calvert Lewin one, he just was a bit slow to react for me with the looping header. The free kick, I can't really discredit him so much. It was a brilliant free kick. And then even the Okafor one, it just seemed like his reaction time was a bit off. So this one, like I said, did end 3-1, but Wolves, 5 played, no wins, 0 points. But I just feel like they're gonna start to get points eventually because I see enough in their play where yeah they're gonna eventually get some goals. Strand Larson being fit, I think Tolu will help them as well. If what they plan to do is what they did in the second half, which is play both of them, and that could really be dangerous, something different that you don't really see in the Prem right now. So let's see what they come up with. But I think in the end they'll be struggling, they'll be close to it. But I wouldn't fight them. I mean, count them out altogether yet. Yeah, I wouldn't. Just because I think that they do enough in these games to get something out of them. They're just not getting the rub of the green right now. Um, but Leeds, put respect on them name. When a team can do it away from home, you have to give them the credit. Calvert Lewin showed up for the first time in a long time and had a decent game. Scored a good goal as well. A goal that you kind of think of him, scrappy, gets his head to it, somehow find the goal. He's one of those strikers, something out of nothing sometimes, especially in the air. So yeah, 3-1 to Leeds, good win for them. Wolves still stuck in, I wouldn't even say first gear, reverse. Potter and Amorim not making it to 2026 in the EPL. Ooh, so you throw Amorim in there too. A surging boy that West Ham need to sack themselves, bro. Wasted the summer, no proper signings, and Potter is a joke. Some England fans think he should be the coach. Oh my gosh. Potter should be the coach of England? Mm-mm. Bless up Conrad. Oh, I go on, my brother. Pick up yourself. Give Potter till international break. Okay, so Jaguar into the whole half. Everton away next, and then Gunners away. So rough on him, brother. I'm thinking he have the potential to lose both of those games. Yeah, man, make them know, Conrad. Make them know. Big up Eras in the building. Yeah, man, 19 likes. Get with the 25, quick and fast. Don't think he's a good coach, even though he did okay at Brighton and was poor at Chelsea with better players. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I'm starting to wonder if he just kind of was a part of that great recruitment team and just had some really good gem of a players at his disposal at Brighton. But then I don't know what the excuse is at Chelsea because he had good players at Chelsea too. So I don't know why he couldn't work it out. Or maybe it's that, he kind of needs those players that are still kind of more in development mode. You know, maybe he's a good U21 coach. Leeds play like Ipswich last season. They're in the championship now. Watch yourself. Open and attacking football. Yeah, Daniel Farker is yeah, he's trying a thing. He's trying a thing. I mean, he has been relegated before, and I wouldn't say that those teams try to play overly expansive. So him say, yo, man, try something different. And to be honest, when you look at Leeds team, Bogle, Rodan, Stroke, Goodmanson, Darlow had a really good game, it must be said. That has proven to be great business from Hoffenheim. He looks solid in that midfield. Um, Langstaff was a good bit of business, I think, free transfer. Okafor was a good signing for them, good experience in Europe. I think his skill set works decent with the Premier League as well. Pace, pace, pace. Very direct player. Um, Brendan Aronson, the American, he's there as well. Tanaka, good player. Gruev, good player. Lucas Mecha, brother at Borussia Dortmund. Then Jack Harrison as well. So, Premier League I wouldn't say veteran, but decent amount of time in the Prem now. And yeah, I mean, the name's not going to wow you, but one thing is that they have a clear way they want to play, and they're getting the job done. But I think in this game they rode their luck a lot to get this 3-1 win. It could have easily even been a 4-3 to Wolves. So I think Farka will have to try to find that balance, I think. I don't think days like this will always happen where it just seems like nothing not going Wolves' way in terms of the bounces or anything like that. So good win for them away from home, though. You can't discredit that. All right, big matchup Saturday, lunchtime kickoff in the United States. This was Man United and Chelsea, people. As you can see, 2-1 to United, went into halftime with a 2-0 lead, courtesy of goals from Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro. Two scrappy goals as well. One from a set piece, the other from a phase of play, ending up in just, I think, some poor goalkeeping. But obviously, biggest talking point of the game, right as the match started, professional foul, last man on Robert Sanchez. So that right there was, I think, caused by just a bit of ball watching, a bit of complacency. You see, the centre back pairing was Fofana and Chalobah, which was kind of surprising to me because we had only seen Fofana playing right back so far this season. He hasn't really broken up that pairing of Tosin and Chalobah very often. So he starts him there. I think Chalobah goes to challenge for a ball with Sesko. Sesko gets the flick on. Mbumo is alive to it, and Fofana is not. And he gets wrong side of Fofana. Now it's a decision for Sanchez to make. I think his starting position when the ball is flicked is good, but his instinct, or I don't know what made him do it, he takes like 2 steps back into his own box, then has to come forward again. So right there, with that back and forth, maybe he's not so ready to make a good challenge on anyone right now. And Mbumo did well to not panic and go for a shot for no reason. He did push it around Sanchez, and Sanchez thought he had to and took him down. No, my thing is this. It's the 3rd minute in the game, Sanchez. Just concede the 1 goal, brother. Just concede the 1 goal, man. You're better off doing that. Now, the domino effect that red card let off was a madness, people. So let's track it. Let's track what happened after this red card. So Maresca gets off the bench and says, okay, we need to put on a keeper. I have to. So he sacrifices Estevao at that point. Then at the same time, he says, listen, not only am I going to take off Estevao, but I want to play a back 5 with 10 men. So he takes off Pedro Neto and brings on Tosin. So why I think that's so important to bring up? All right, here's why. So Cole Palmer, just recently missed time with some injury problems and everything. Now you're down to 10 men away from home. The crowd was mad in the rain, just worked up, making a bag of noise. Pedro Neto, to me, is a player that will literally run from minute 1 to minute 120 if it got extra time. And it will look like him not even tired. He's very, very fit. So if I'm down to 10 men, I would want to have the most mobile players on the field, because one thing's for sure, when you go down to 10, you're going to have to run more. Even if you drop back into a block, you're still going to have to shuffle more than you would because you're down a man. So I was surprised, and so was Neto, when he took him off and brought on Tosin. So fine, you go to a back 5. What turns around happened, 14 minutes later, Palmer has to leave the game, obviously trying to cover the ground, trying to do more since him team down to 10, probably aggravate something, and Andre Santos came on for him. So in the first half, there were 3 subs made, 1 forced and 2 tactical, basically. And the Palmer one I have to understand, because while he's not listed on here as an injury sub, I would have to think that they have assessed, how much you'd have to run and say, no, it's not worth the risk. Let's take him off. But I don't know why they didn't run that risk assessment when the red card happened. So you end up wasting the Neto sub when it could have been Palmer off and Tosin on if that's what he wanted to go and play a back five. So yeah, I think Maresca did panic a bit in that moment, in the red card moment. And I remember when Casemiro got this yellow in the first half, I said in a group chat that I'm in that no, well, someone said that another red card in this game. And I said, yeah, man, Casemiro second yellow. And later in the game, that's exactly what happened. Not even after halftime, right on the stroke of halftime, Casemiro gets sent off for a second yellow. Looking at the replay, I thought it was a little bit harsh, to be honest. He did pull him back a bit, but I don't know. Just seemed a bit harsh. Let me check in with the chat real quick. Barca play like that, but not anyone like Barca. Eras always a laugh. One Barca. Maybach music. That is it. Right now, we prefer Bournemouth manager than Arteta. He's serious manager that fearless. No, man. And don't have him little defensive ways too, man. I talk say. So, Areola have the man them ticket all game. And still now unleash the people them. Call long him for bring on Clivert, brother. Liverpool legend. Arteta brother needs to take a walk, says Eras. Boy, can't argue with that, man. Yo, I wish we could have played the thing on here. Actually, I probably can. Why would have show? And we can't play the audio and react to it like all other reactors in the world. Alright, man, I'm not play it yet. Can't even talk about that, but that triggered me a while ago start. Antonio going back to West Ham. Boy, don't know if Antonio can even help West Ham situation right now, brother. Ever since Potter had that fade, he hasn't been the same. Yo, the same thing reached Saliba, man. Man, Baba gave him the worst trim, and the man started some madness. Yo, Mr. Batter, that's exactly what I want to play. That's exactly what I want to play. No time to in post-match press conference to explain and smirk. He's taking the piss. Agreed. Yeah, man, no accountability. The man couldn't just say, yo, in hindsight, I should have been more proactive in my decision. And I wanted to make sure I changed that as quickly as possible. And I thought the best time to do that was halftime. Just say that, bro. I would say, all right, respect, coach. You make a mistake. We can still beat him because we just saw this happen away from home at Anfield. In hindsight, we should have taken it to them more. So you're at home today. So why never take it to them more? Maresca lost Chelsea that game, was taking Neto off at the same time as Esteban. Yeah, I don't know what the hell him do that for. Man United versus Chelsea game was a surprise. Jaguars, I think you're right, because in terms of choices for winners, only one person, and that was Pristine. Pristine was the only person that picked Man U to win and picked the score correctly as well, 2-1. Brain freeze moment from Sanchez, yeah. He always has a few of those, Maresca had a panic attack for real. Man, take off everybody. I say, yo, no. Yo, we need more defenders. We need more defenders. They've been saying that way before the accident. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Maresca and Arteta, the frauds. Come on, third. Both man, the devil, Pep's disciples. We say we need some clap disciple now. Torres should have had another goal. Oh, Ferran Torres today. Yeah. I know he was proving them wrong, but I don't know after this accident. Yeah. Killing Yamal not playing. Yeah, man. Yamal not like him, yeah, him want up on the field, bro. I can't take Arteta no more. He gotta go. Yeah, but Eros problem is, bro, they're not gonna get rid of this guy, man. Look. We spent a bag of money. We finished second. Last year, second was not better than the other two in terms of how we played, in terms of the gap, in terms of points total we gained. And they didn't sack him. So, drawing with City today, he's not getting sacked. This guy is stuck in this team. Yeah, man, him do a lot of foolishness. Yo, you know, sir, I thought that Pristine was a female, but it's not. One time I did say that, you know, and Pristine said, man, a female. I said, Jano. Them not fire him, brother. Mm-mm. No, them not fire. Just weep on YouTube and the fire blazers, them would just go blaze fire. That's the closest him going to come to a firing. The fire will go blaze on YouTube. Maybe this second will be better than last year. No. You see, you see what Arteta do? You see what Arteta do to me? They are ranked the second place them. Jeez and peace. Yo, even that in itself is madness for me just a while ago. But yeah, back to the game at hand, the Man U Chelsea game. So we get through Maresca with the madness now. Bruno Fernandes scores. Slight hint of offside, but it was very close, but the right call. Bruno finishing off the Dorgu header. And then Casemiro, after a mix-up, I think the goalkeeper, Jorgensen, was horrible. And the ball went straight up in the air. And the man just tippy-tappy in the same spot, not moving towards the ball. And then Maguire just buck it across the goal. Casemiro stay on side, buck it back across the goal. 2-0 right there, so boom. So halftime now, well, before halftime, Casemiro get him second yellow. So we're down to even now, 10v10. Sesko came off at halftime, which I guess, right? Then Tyreek George came on for Fofana. Gusto came on for Cucurella. So a bit more attacking set up by Maresca at that point. Then Cunha came on. Then Mount and Euro came on. So that was the extent of it there. Then Chalobah scored after a short corner. Reece James put it in the box. Chalobah with a brilliant header into the side netting to make it 2-1. And then they could not quite find that equalizing goal. They were, I wouldn't say all over them after the goal they scored, but you know, they had I'd say the better openings, you know, once it went to 2-1. But it never really felt like they were going to find it, to be honest. And Manchester United, you know, over the overall balance of the play, they probably deserve to get the win. I think a draw would have been a bit tough on them, to be honest. But I think Chelsea really, yeah, I think the manager will look back and say, boy, did I handle that situation right? And obviously, we have the advantage of seeing it play out. But I just remember in the moment thinking, just personnel-wise, even if you feel like you want to change to a back five, I just wouldn't be Pedro Neto wouldn't be the one because he's way too. He's just so fit. So if you're down one less player, you want the fittest people, and trust me, Pedro Neto is different when it comes on to running up and down the whole game. Yeah, man, no feel no way, man. Pristine, they throw me after. Jason, you think they're going to fire him? No, I do not. At least ranking the second places will eventually lead to Arsenal being first for once. Boy, whatever it takes. You know that tune there? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe me start ranking them for real. We're going to do a whole show and ranking the Arsenal seconds. First back-to-back wins for Amorim in his reign at United. Hold on, a two game them win? Yeah, me I say what you talk about? Which back to back? I guess you're foreshadowing. You forgot that them lose the derby. Come I say to myself, yo, am me mad or this person mad? Me not mad enough. But yeah, Manchester United, Amarim gets a big win over Enzo Maresca in the rain. Won't go down as like a classic or anything, but the conditions were tough, if we're being totally fair. Um, but yeah, Manu was able to hold them off in the end and win this one 2-1. So Amarim, I think I read, sorry people, I think I read today that Amarim signed like a lifetime contract or something like that. When you read that, right? Oh boy. In Amarim we trust. That is it. Lifetime contract the man signed. Enzo getting bullied in the midfield by Uarte. 100 mil my foot. But the two of them are bully each other, man. Because Uarte no good neither, you know. You think they have more silver than Jamaica taxi drivers? Jeez. Casemiro goal. The keeper Jorgensen had the opportunity to point. Yeah, I don't know what the hell he was doing. Man sitting there pity pattering and whatever. Never go for the ball, bro. I don't understand. You guys should get a trophy. They must change now so much second places. Yeah, man. I don't know, boy. I think Arteta will hold us back. You know, that's what it's looking like. Evidence on the two teams that, you know, obviously that's the three that people were talking about. You know, Arsenal, um, Liverpool, and Man City. And so, you know, we've played both of them. One of them, you know, played well against Liverpool, but didn't do enough, I thought. Showed them too much respect, I thought. End up losing that game 1-0. Then today, you have to kind of, I think you make a statement of intent with the lineup today's game. You show City, like, listen, this is what we're doing. And then it turned out that Pep was willing to, for long periods, just drop into a low block. So having that extra creative player would have helped today. Um, yeah, it's just upsetting, man. Jeez. Yeah, Jaguars, I thought it was a little bit harsh, but you have to kind of say that about Casemiro too. He should know better not to even get involved in a challenge even like that. You know, because he did have his hands all over him, as well as sliding around him and all kind of madness. So yeah. All right, Fulham and Brentford. This is another one that looked like it was gonna go one way and then switched. The goal by Damsgaard really was a mistake from Fulham. And to be honest, Fulham, it was against the run of play. It was totally against the run of play. They got that goal. Damsgaard slotted it home nicely. Then Fulham woke up. Well, they were already awake, but they just got back to business again, applying pressure till Alex Iwobi scored after some poor defending from Collins and the rest of the Brentford defenders. Iwobi slotted home through Collins and to the right of the keeper. Then the second goal was a thing of beauty. Iwobi picked up the ball in the left inside space, and you know the player that was really free after the decoy run was Harry Wilson running in from the right, and he played it at such a pace that Wilson didn't have to break stride, and just one touch it curled it around the keeper on the ground. Brilliant goal to make it 2-1. And then the third goal, sad to say, our own goal by Jamaica's own Ethan Pinnock, who got the start in this one. It was a day to forget for him and the rest of the Brentford defenders, to be honest. But yeah, he had the added, I guess what you could say now, added insult to injury. Basically, our own goal also conceded by himself. So Ethan Pinnock, happy to see him on the field again. Me myself being a Reggae Boys fan, but boy, it was a rough day at office for him today. Hopefully, um, Andrews don't give up on him, and it looks like maybe they're trying to utilize this system, which I think gives him a better chance to start. So hopefully this result and the way they play doesn't too much change the coach's thoughts. Because I think if it's a back five like this, Pinnock probably get a lot more game. But Brentford, to be fair to them, they lost the game 3-1, but I thought in the second half they played well. Did create some opportunities in that second half. Just couldn't get it over the line. Leno had a decent game. Yeah, it was a good game of football by these two teams. Another London derby. Fulham taking it 3-1. I really like that Harry Wilson goal though, to be honest. Really, really nice play. If you never see that goal, check it out. Bless up Eras. Big up yourself, Yeah, man. Big up each and every time, my brother. DJ Gigs, I met the chat dead with laugh. Yeah, Pinnock was very poor today, it must be said. It's the honest truth, man. He struggled, man. I was looking forward to seeing the game once I saw him playing, and boy, it was just, I don't know, man. The whole Brentford backline just was out of sorts today. 4 clearance, 2 block shot, 1 tackle, 1 dribble pass, 1 own goal, 1 for 3 ground duels, 3 for 6 area duels, 52 touch, lose about 12 time, was fouled once, 74%, like that higher 1 for 6. Yeah, so it was a rough day at the office for sure. Hopefully, him can continue to get those games though and those reps. Cause I think with him is just him a little bit out of timing right now. Bournemouth Newcastle, this one was a nil-all, but it was an exciting match. I think both teams traded their punches. Obviously, none able to deliver the knockout, but it was a good, entertaining game. Just not enough end product in the final third for either team for my liking. And that's probably why this game did end up nil-all. You see the expected goals for Newcastle extremely low, less than 0.2, 0.46 at least for Bournemouth, but less than half of an expected goal. So both teams, huffed and puffed and got close and never really got to that breakthrough phase. So 0-0, this one ended. Trying to think. Yeah, 0-0, this one ended. I think when you look at the teams, I should say, Newcastle pretty much changed up their front three from Champions League. So it wasn't good. I think Gordon is still suspended though. Yeah, Gordon is still suspended, so he couldn't start. So Voldemort came in. Then Joe Willock took that left hand side, and Jacob Murphy took that right hand side. So interesting rotation. And then when you look at the midfield now, Lewis Miley was in there. No Joe Linton, no Bruno G. Both were on the bench and never came on. So look, Newcastle, another one of those teams, like the Tottenhams, like the Arsenals. They have Champions League in between a lot of the time. And you can see Eddie Howe maybe kind of learning his lesson from the last time they were there. Because I do think that the squad did suffer a little bit of burnout. He was playing them Champions League and the league as well. But you can see an idea here where they're not going to burn out these players. So, and he changed the system accordingly. He had some defenders. Theo hadn't really gotten a game since he came over. Batman, has been suffering in and out with injuries the past couple seasons and everything. So yeah, I wanted to get them some reps and some minutes, and they did this. And I have seen Eddie Howe do this before, just switch up his system game to game and tailor it to whatever him got going on with his own squad or even the squad them going to face. So definitely think that he's trying to learn his lesson from the last time, making his rotations. But in the end, it didn't work out for them because they were only able to get a point. But this point might prove to be a good one over the course of the season. I think Bournemouth are not the easiest team to defeat at their stadium. So 0-0, but I thought the game was pretty entertaining just the same. This is the game I watched the most of today while the games were on at the same time. Because, of course, at the same time, the next game we're going to talk about real quick is Sunderland and Aston Villa. Obviously, the biggest thing, well, not the biggest thing, but one of the things that happened in this game that was a bit mad was the incident with Reynildo and Matty Cash. And yeah, I think it was a deserved red card as well. Yes, Cash was the instigator, but that retaliation was never called for that. Trust me, not on a football field, not on anywhere field, not in life. Yep, Trevante scored today. He's played 90 in the same game. I actually I didn't watch the first half, but I watched the second half. Harry Wilson goal was a nice play. Yeah, man. I love that goal, man. Team goal. Newcastle showing again they can't cope with multiple competitions. Bournemouth are a very tricky side, though. Yeah, Mr. Batterd, I think when you look at it this season, the tables could flip in this one, where next year is Bournemouth struggling to cope because them finish high enough to get Europe. Could be the case. They still won't call him. McLaren probably don't know him. For real. But say, but he didn't look like that when he left. I should have put away Newcastle with Bruno and company not playing. That is true, Jaguars. When Bournemouth look back at it, they'll say, oh, we drew nil with Newcastle, not a bad result. But then when you put it in context of who started the game and who they decided to rest, they'll be like, damn, we'll let one get away. It do happen to defenders, but it happens a lot. Like Harry, it's a problem. This is a big deal. Baltimore are also feeling the effects of PL intensity, but I like his link up play. Yeah, he has these little moments where it's like, damn, that was neat and nice, but yeah, man, couple times well him get just crowded out and like similar to Verts, just want that extra beat on the ball that him don't have. Yeah, so this one, Sunderland and Aston Villa. Aston Villa yet to score a goal before today in the Premier League. That is mad. No goals at all. Anyway, they did get one today. This one ended 1-1. Matty Cash scoring. There were three big pile drivers this week. The IRE one that I thought Vicario should have done better. What was the other one? IRE. Oh, the free kick by the Leeds midfielder stuck. And then Matty Cash goal in this game, people. Now that did a swerve and that get connect people. Matty Cash goal today, people. That ball get connected properly. I on the Arsenal game at the weekend kept Bruno and Joe Linton fresh. Yeah, man, for kick over people. Yo, them man in a rum for kick over my ball of them, brother. Jeez. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so Matty Cash with one of the wickedest goals of the weekend. And then Wilson Isidore, player that I like, he's from France, 25 now. Can play off the left striker as well, even off the right, if need be. But yeah, he's bounced around mainly. France obviously looks like he got his start at Stade Rennais maybe. Then went to Monaco, loaned out to lesser league club. And then he's been bouncing around. Then finally, Lokomotiv Moscow in 2022 put up 3.5 in January. Then by September of the next year, he was over to Zenit on loan with a loan fee. And then Zenit bought him outright. And right now he's on loan to Sunderland, but purchased start of Jan to help get them up. And he's still around and he's leading the line right now, even after acquiring Brian Brabby from Ajax. So, Reynildo with a madness, Matty Cash with a banger, and then Isidore, good forward play, staying onside, looping header from Xhaka into the box again, and Isidore and the half volley was able to beat Martinez. Martinez, I feel like he did this one play in the game where he was supposed to he tried to just catch the ball, he dropped it, he got back on it, then he went to throw the ball out. And I guess he changed his mind and just threw it up in the air. I don't know what happened there. But it just seems like he's doing madness. And I think Villa fans, if you're listening, any Villa fans, if you watch this, just remember I told you to just watch Martinez in goal. Feel like him going to a couple of times this season, him going to probably cost you. Because I wonder about him concentration. Seriously. I honestly wonder about his concentration. Maresca must have been shocked when he saw Sunderland kept attackers on the field with 10 men. Yeah. Yo, good point, Chile. Watch out. So in that game, right? In this game, look, the red card happened by the 33rd minute. The man make one sub. Him take off this brother right here, Rig, who was playing in midfield, and the man bring on a defender. So the man probably say, yo, we are going 5-3-1, call it a day. But that's just one person. And it wasn't even like a forward, more a midfielder, you know? Then Villa tried to inject something different with Matson and Elliott, then Marlon, then Sancho came on as well. So he threw all his bullets. He threw all his bullets, but none of them really connected today. And in the end, Aston Villa did get the draw. Matty Cash had a bullet of his own that was unstoppable. Roos, who had a good game otherwise, just couldn't get enough purchase on the punch, and the ball was moving and swerving, which got him out, I think. But yeah, 1-1 in this game. Aston Villa still struggling to make a mark this season. But, baby steps, Aston Villa. At least you got a goal today, first of the season. So big ups to you. They missed Party Bailey at Villa. I thought the keeper could have saved that, or I was just thinking about another game. Which one? The Sunderland game, the Sunderland goal or the Aston Villa goal? No, you're thinking about the Brighton goal against my boy named Vicario, probably. I don't think the Matty Cash one, the keeper. I'm not going for the keeper. The keeper did punch it, but it just swerved so much that it hit the wrong side of him hand and just end up in the goal. But that was a good strike by Cash. Can't take none from it. But the Ayari one, the Brighton one against Vicario against Tottenham, that one was not good enough. Yeah, man. Emery gave a press conference. The man looked like he want to fight everybody after the game. All right, people, we reached to the final game of the week that we're going to discuss, and that is Arsenal hosting Manchester City. So, first thing, people, when the lineups are announced, we look at it and we say, John Star. Backline can deal with that. Bit surprised Saliba comes straight back in, but at the same time, Saliba typically have good games against Man City, right? And Mosquera, yes, he's been awesome, but do you want to pressure the kid in this game against Haaland and everything? Probably not. So yeah, didn't beat too much for that. Now the midfield, I was trying to rationalize it to people that look, I kind of understand why, because it's a ball retention thing, and I think Marino is, even though he's not the quickest, he's press resistant because his technique is so good. Little did Arteta know that they were planning to, try to nick a goal and then park the bus. And that's literally what happened in the game. When the game starts out, Arsenal was a little better and everything. Nothing great, but they were the better team. And then the first time they really attack from their own half, Haaland breaks, Gabriel is too far behind, Zubimendi, Rice, everybody's behind the play. And just Timber and Saliba is back there. And No, not Timber. Timber and Saliba. Timber and Saliba is back there. And Saliba, for the life of me, I don't understand why. The man leave the channel to pass the ball to Haaland wide free, wide open. You have to put yourself in between those two players in that moment. I know it's easy for me to say sitting here, and in the moment, that's probably what he wanted to do, but he could not execute it. And when you watch it on a replay, it just looks like, yo, bro, he just never get the angles right there. Because somebody said to me, and it's true, if Virgil van Dijk is in that position, that's not such a simple pass to Haaland. Even if Haaland get the ball, it's like Virgil cut the angle, or cut the pass to him feet, so him play it in space and him get there for the keeper or something like that. But the way how that pass just went on a straight line to where Haaland ran to, that to me is obviously you want the players behind the play to run back faster. Because I don't think they were sprinting as hard as they could. And then secondly, I lost my train of thought here, but basically, what I'm saying is Saliba should have read that play a bit better. Has to shade more towards Haaland there. If you shade more towards Haaland, Doku gets it wide. Who is more likely to score? Haaland or Doku? I mean, that's not a trick question. It's just a question for real. Because if you're thinking that way, then you want to take away the angle to him. Let Reinders finish off the run with a brilliant shot on his weaker left foot. Let that happen. I think this is the season Wolves gets relegated. Maybe they'll finally give Dexter first team minutes in the championship. Maybe. Haaland should have done the Isak celebration. Left Gabriel in the dust. Yeah, man, as him turn and lay off the pass, man, the man just starts sprint. Look like Kishin Torati. But yeah, too easy. And even though we had the better early exchanges, the problem I have with a lot of the exchanges were better than teams. We don't threaten the goal enough. We're not threatening the goal enough. And I thought about 20, 25 minutes or so into the first half, Arsenal really grew into it. Definitely started to dominate possession, territory. But again, that that killer pass, that dribble that opens up the defense before the layoff to the shot, those things weren't occurring. It was just all sterile, safe. Keep the other team in front of me at all times. And I think in certain spells when we were on top in that first half, I could hear the crowd groaning when Marino would get the ball in like a half space-ish type of area, turn, look up to play a pass, runs are made, doesn't make the pass, lays it square to Zubimendi or lays it back to Rice or to whoever, and we go again. But I think Arteta put too much of an emphasis on that style. Keep the football, keep the football. But again, he wouldn't have known that Pep was coming to park the bus. Who would have known that? That's not them. That's not what they do. Where's that 5.9? Only one of them have it in. True, still watching what is prior going to fight it. Saliba should not have turned his back while running back on defense with Reinders upon him case. Yeah, man. The whole Richard King run back, first half was criminal because of Arteta's setup. Yeah. Gabriel and Saka were clearly running like man coming back from serious injuries. Will be a concern through the season. They don't look comfortable or 100% fit. Yeah, Gabriel, I think he's somehow playing in a way where he doesn't open up over any long sprint. If you notice, like somehow he's doing that right now, but he doesn't look comfortable when he have to really open up his legs. Kusanov looks like he got hurt. This is not good. Yeah, man, the one time the man start play decent, get a position for him, right back look decent, man get injured star. It's not good for them. It's not good for him. The first half was diabolical. So only one striker get 5.9, and this guy, Victor Gyökeres, how many touches him have? 22, 55% pass. Try one dribble, couldn't get it. Long ball, 0 for 1, 0 for 3 ground duels, 2 for 4 aerial duels. 13 times the man lose the ball, more than half touches, and him offside. Jeez, peas, what a stinker. No matter way, he got a 6 in the first half. Jeez. He missed a big chance. So what them I call big chance? The header? Couldn't header them attack. Hold on, man. Try to see something. So yeah, they are counting this one. The header. Madueke did have a free header still, but boy, I don't think he'll be scoring any headers anytime soon. Alright, so lineups pissed me off from start. Even up on the left. Trossard. So no Eze. Look at the bench now. No Eze. No Martinelli who just scored. I understood that because look like the tactic with Martinelli this season is going to be stretch defenses, tired defenses. Martinelli threatened that. Boom. Waneri, no trust from the manager, none at all. And Saka is back from injury on the bench, comes on right at that. If Arteta could, he would have bring him on in the second minute. But yeah, it was not the most. It's not the statement you wanted to see from Arteta, especially after the Anfield narrative, But hey, what are you gonna do? What the hell are you gonna do? Can't see. All right, but Man City, they pretty much are the same 11, unchanged. I think in 3 games in a row, I said. So Pep finding an 11 that him liking right now. With all these people out, maybe that's a good thing to do. Just try to keep some continuity and just see where it goes, see how quick he can get back some ball. So Man City got the goal from Haaland. Arsenal close out the first half very, very well. Start out the second just the same, but to be honest, within these little pockets of great spells by Arsenal that aren't turning into goals, there was still the threat, the threat and the counter by Doku. And anytime he got the ball, he took on players, sometimes getting all the way into the box, But Doku does Doku things at times, and it just was not clinical enough. So yeah, that's really what happened though. But that kept Arsenal honest. I thought we still were putting numbers in attack because, like I said, they pretty much went full part the bus mode. I mean, Kusanov had to come off at halftime, but then Ake came on for Foden. Nico Gonzalez came on for Haaland. So 2 attacking players off, 1 defender, and 1 central defensive midfielder. So, the intent was clear, and the pictures will prove it as well when you look at the footage. But Pep Guardiola said, listen, that's probably the best thing for me to do right now. So that's what he did. I mean, what are you going to do? You have to break that down. And the one player was able to break it down today. Can you guess who that was? That brought down the low block? That got a bit indisciplined and was too high? Oh, Eberechi, the one that never started. To Martinelli, the one that I agree with not starting super sub settings, but that's how you impact the game. And Martinelli had a lot to do, he timed the run correctly, took it down well, outside of the right boot, flipped over a 7-foot person, and yeah, he got it right into the corner. Good execution, good goal. So Kuz is a baller, so Texican. Yo, them Uzbekistan brother there, you know, man. Them footballer get great, you know. The other day in a U20 World Cup, one of the best side them, like football wise, playing wise. I like what them play. Man City have changed their style. Shut no. Well, let's see. Let's see if this is something that lasts, you know. Him after the game, him say it was Arsenal why him do that. Because nothing wasn't working. Them couldn't press, them couldn't beat our press properly. So them just have to switch it up. Go direct early and win second ball. Stoke City setting. Madueke, if some said to you he's 17-year-old academy player, you'd believe it. He plays to take on defense plus zero end product. Yeah, man. It's exciting, make the crowd get up, but trust me, if him can add the end part, brother. City was doubling up on Madueke anytime him get the ball upon the wing. Yeah, they were. They would slide. One of the midfielders would slide, whether it's Rodri, Reinders, whoever is closest to it at the time. Line up a joke to they say Apache. Yeah, man, too conservative, you know? For my liking, at least. They could be too conservative. The lineup that is. Yeah, don't get it twisted. They say I can't trust Trossard. You know, say I never have no issue with Trossard at start, to be honest. I was more trying to wrap my head around the midfield selection, to be honest, because Trossard have a knack for finding a pass. Yes, he's not gonna run past you to, you know, but he will body feint you and get by you and supply across. You don't have to believe if I did to cross a ball. So I never had no issue with Trossard starting, to be honest. The General Eza made a difference once he came on. All in all, the subs made a difference for Arsenal. That's true. All the subs that came on did well. You know, Ethan, Bukayo, Mosquera came on late. Obviously, Martinelli. So yeah, needed all the squad today to get a draw to wrap it. Yeah, so Arsenal, Man City. Let's take a deeper look into the stats. So the expected goals dead even. So 0.89 to 0.87, 67% to 33% on the night. So consistency. First half, second half, the same. Both sides had two big chances, 12 shots to 5 in favor of Arsenal. You see the passes a lot more attempted by Arsenal, of course. Shots on target, though, 3 to 3. And that is the difference. Boom. Take so many shots just to get 3 on target. Both teams converted a big chance and missed one. And more entries for Arsenal than Man City, 61 to 48. So yeah, very nice game. Frustrating game, to be honest, because it just felt as if the first half was just like, let's just get through the first half and then we play second half. But why? Why not just play for 90 like normal teams do, you know? So yeah, that's the only thing that kind of made me a bit, you know, like, why are we going so conservative? So yeah, this one ended, people. So let's look at the standings before we move on to the prediction standings for the week. The cool brain run left him at times. Yeah, man. Doku did this thing today, man. Danger when him get the ball, get into the box, beat people. End product though. Cause I don't know what him try to do when him reach to the almost to the byline and cut it back across for nobody. Eza, Bala. This game gave me a little more confidence for the other bigger games. All right. Let's say that you can defend and think if you need to. Doku and O'Reilly were superb. Yeah, O'Reilly was top. He was top. Yeah, man. Saka game a rotted pile. Pile up right in the middle of the pitch. Yeah, man, towards the end of the game, man, take a ball upon him chest and just running, thinking I'm going to surprise him or something, brother. I'm going to just pile off him face neatly. Neatly, bro. But yeah, it's crazy, man. This game, Arsenal still in love with the right side. So why did that have to happen like that? No, people, I'm trying to see something. I'm looking at the attacking map, and no matter what we do, no matter who we play, this right side does get all the love in the world. All the love in the world. So teams just overload that side defensively. Like what them do Madueke. Like what they did for stretches of the second half as well with Saka over there. So have to find a way to balance this thing better, man. I think you play as a left that drifts in all the time, and you play a left back that actually overlap. You make Rice stop, go play left central midfield, left center attacking midfield every day. Let him sit with Zubi, so you have that support in front of you too. That's the solution, people. Arteta, I am in a man. So you can look good. Cause me not got to get no credit. The little guy where you just put as an analyst that you're really secretly getting all the ideas from. Nobody know if know that. You win, me win, come now you're gonna sort me out. You know? Once you know win the league and thing with my great ideas I'm gonna give. Our biggest concern last season was getting bullied in the game. That wasn't the case today. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Haaland was holding off, man. Rodri in there, that presence. Randers as well. Foden as well surprised me in some of the little duels and things where I'm seeing going on. I said, wait, a Foden that? Which team this week surprised you with performance and which disappoint based on performance? All right, so this week I'd say my surprise performer, Leeds. Leeds winning 3-1 away. I mean, I know it's against a team that don't win, but I just never see them winning that game so handily. If them win, I figure it would be a 2-1, one love type of thing. But 3-1, very emphatically done. I have to say them. And disappointing based on performance. It's probably harsh to be honest because they got the red card so early. But I got to say Chelsea, man. Just the way how they never really quite came to grips with things. And I wonder what the score would have been if they never got the red card to Casemiro too. Is that fair though? Chelsea got the red card so early. All right. Let me not pick Chelsea. Chelsea's a bit rough. So disappointing performance. Most disappointing performance, Brentford. Didn't expect them to roll over like they did and basically just die. Yeah, that they didn't play nowhere near them full potential. So yeah, Brentford was horrible performance-wise for me. All right, so let's take a look at the standings. Come off of this. Let's take a look at the Premier League standings, people. Ratty, that's so much a man gone. What? All right. So let's take a look now at the table, the Prem table after 5 weeks of matches, and see who is who and what is what. All right. So Good questions, Gigs. Thanks for the question. Let's just show you guys the table real quick. So Wolves, not looking good. 5 L's. L Cool J. L Cool W. -9 goal difference, no points. West Ham and Villa also in the relegation zone, only 1 win. Well, 3 points, 1 win for West Ham. Aston Villa still winless, but they do have 3 draws to go with 2 losses. So yeah. One. This was a 0-0. And this was a 0-0. And the other one's a loss. So yeah, first goal today. Brentford in 17th now, 4 points. A win and a draw with 3 losses. Then you have Burnley, 4 points as well. Win and a draw now with 3 losses as well. Then Nottingham Forest in 15th position. Brighton in 14th, both on 5 points. Newcastle, the lone team on 6 points in 13th position. 1 win, 3 draws, and a loss. Big clash with Arsenal next week at St. James Park. Leeds, 7 points now, 12th position. Man United was on the first page for a while, but now back on page 2 in 11th. They have 7 points. Everton, 7 points for them, but they are in 10th based on a better goal difference than Man U and Leeds. And then Man City, best goal difference of the 7-pointers in 9th. They have a +4 goal difference, puts them in 9th position. Now the 8-pointers, Fulham, Sunderland, and Chelsea, all got there in different ways. But no, they all have 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. Chelsea with the best goal difference at +5. Then we have Crystal Palace, work their way all the way up, unbeaten in 5. Only 2 wins to go with 3 draws, but that puts them into 5th position. And they are sitting pretty with Liverpool next to play. They have had some decent performances against Liverpool. May not always get the result. But yeah, let's see what happens this weekend. Bournemouth in 4th on 10 points. Spurs 3rd in 10 points. Arsenal 2nd with 10 points. Superior goal difference, 8 of Arsenal, 7 of Spurs, 1 of Bournemouth. And first position, 5 from 5. Greens all around. W's everywhere. W's in the chat. 15 points for Liverpool, sitting pretty at the top of the Prem. So, people, let's now take a break from showing you all these things and let's go ahead and show you guys how it looks for the week in terms of the standings in the Premier League prediction table that we do each and every week here on the show. So let me get up on the screen now the results from the predictions of the week. And let's get that on the screen for you guys. So let's hide it first. All right, people. So the big reveal this week, I will say, you guys are getting much better at this. I think only 1 person out of everybody that played this week, which is remarkable, got at least 1 correct score. So yeah, the more we practice, yeah, we're a big team, even though we try to win. So yeah, I'm proud of all the people. Clap on yourselves. Everybody get at least 1 correct score, except for 1 person. And it's fitting because that 1 person, sad to say, is the donkey for the week. Big friend to the channel as well. So we hate to see it, but yeah, we have to be truthful to the masses. So yeah, what I will reveal first though, before we reveal that person, is, drum roll please, the winner of the prediction table for the week is Joseph Brown. Big up to Joseph Brown. 6-4 record and he got the tiebreaker over. I had one so close, sis, to the victory this week, but he only had one correct score when Joseph Brown had three. He predicted the Liverpool 2-1 over Everton, the 1-1 Burnley, Nottingham Forest, and also the 1-1 Sunderland and Aston Villa. So, honorable mention, not on the list, Hot Chili was 5-5, just missed the top five. Actually, no, there he is in third. 3 games predicted as well. So that was actually the highest for the week of any 2 players. 3 games predicted. So big ups to those two. As you can see, Jason Gooner himself, 4-6 with 2 correct, just edging out Fitzroy Grizzle, who was also 4-6 but had 1 game correct, the Liverpool Everton game, like many of us did. So yeah, congrats to Joseph Brown. I know you're traveling right now, so probably can't take you in the show, but hopefully on the replay you find out that you are the winner for the week. Mr. Butter, they need to take you in the next week. Everybody here that's watching, you don't know. Take it in, Texican. You always a run from the predictions, boss. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yes, I need to go Germany more often. Big up yourself, Joseph Brown is in the building. Thanks again for your membership as well, Joseph. And I'm glad you got your picks in because you indeed are the champion for the week. All right. So big up to Joseph Brown. Get the job done this week. All right, Joseph Brown in the building. Big up yourself and congratulations. Now, we need to reveal the, I guess, do you call it the winner? I don't know if you call this person a winner, but they are the donkey of the week, people. The worst predictor for the week. Sad to say, it's my brethren, but I have to tell the truth, people. It was bad for him. So what we have for you now is the donkey of the week, and the donkey of the week is my brethren Sheridan with a 2-8 record. Was only able to get correctly predict the result in Liverpool, Everton, and Crystal Palace and West Ham. Every other game, he went win for one team. It was a draw, vice versa, vice versa. It was tough, 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 tough week for Sheridan. So give him the big hee-haw for the week. Sheridan, big up yourself. Hopefully you're here next week to get out of the pasture and put yourself back on the prediction table. All right, big up yourself, Sheridan. Anyway, I know you'll probably watch back on the replay. Sad to say, you are the donkey of the week. All right, so that is the reveal of the week. Thanks again to all those who played. It keeps growing and growing and growing, and you don't know, you can reach out to me on the socials, on the comment section of the preview video, which comes to you the night before first kickoff of the week, where we always go through the games and try to predict all of them, and we make the fans as well, the subscribers, the viewers, take part by dropping their scores in the comment section, which are documented, and then you see we reveal who won, who did terrible, right? So big up to everybody that participated, and look forward to week 6 when we do it all over again. All right. So before we head out to the building, people, we do play Fantasy Premier League. So we want to go ahead and check what's going on in the fantasy leagues. Boy, I almost had a crisis this week. It was pretty much a crisis, to be honest, because literally, people, I fell asleep. I'm not lying to you. I fell asleep in the app the night before the game with the app, with the phone in my hand, literally looking at transfers and contemplating what I'm going to do with my team and everything. I wake up the next morning, brother, with the phone in my hand. I'm going to say, John will start. I never even adjust the team. So going into this week, I was fearing the worst. I was like, look, I've had a good start to the season, and, pretty much everything that I've been trying to do is working out, and I was just worried that because I didn't do anything this week and I stood put, it would be a big problem for me. And look, somehow, some way, I was able to, get I was able to get some things done this week with the team that I have. I still to this time, I still don't know how I was able to do that, but yeah, man, it turned out okay. I thought it was gonna be a lot worse, but it turned out okay. All right, well, first and foremost, people, I know a lot of you are probably more in tune with the fantasy Premier League, like the traditional fantasy Premier League game. But I also play the fantasy draft league. I'm in 3 leagues for that. So let me show you guys how my draft teams did this week, how the season going for me. Um, I must admit that I haven't really caught fire in any of the leagues yet. So it's a bit of a slow burn for me. Um, but let's see. Did I win another fixture in the league this week? I think I did. Okay, so I got the win. Big up to my sports world. This is his fantasy draft league. It's head to head every week, kind of like fantasy football, NFL style, where you have an opponent each week and you play. So this is week 5. So I have 3 wins and 2 losses right now. So you can see the standings, brother. Okay. So these are the standings right there. Big up Miss Melina. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well with you. You're top in the league right now, 4 wins. Charlie second with 4 wins. Myself right there with Glock 14 to score. Kings and Jonathan all with 9 points. So a log jam right there. I can see the total points, which is what I normally play under, just total points. I would be in 3rd right now. So this is kind of a look at a draw. I know 1 week I had a mad defeat where I would have beat everybody, but I just never win this one. So looks like I'll have to take on Miss Melina, the league leader, next week. So let's see how that goes. But Moss, it was a tight one. I only beat you by 2. Jeez, who must it have on him side? Raya, Livramento, Timba, Dorgu, Reinders, Gakpo, Eze, Soboslai, Diblin, Walter Mad, and Haaland. Okay. So that's who Mas had on his side. And this was my team. Henderson in goal. Cucurella got a yellow. Played and got 0. Truffair, good game for me, 9 points. Gay, he got 7. Rice, Semenyo. Must have been defensive contribution. Must. Yep. Oh, he came 3rd in the bonus. Wow. Semenyo, he got a lot of contribution today and a clean sheet. Paqueta and Palmer did nothing for me. Foster got a 6. Nice. Man get an assist, get a bonus point. A good game from Foster. Isidore get me 9 and Tolu 2. So somehow I got 44 won this one. That's miracle work there. Crystal Ball FC. So this one 32, not the best week, but hanging in there. Little bit of a deficit there, but nothing too crazy. This is my team in this one. Becca, Richards, Timber, Virgil, Kudus, Enzo, Rogers, Madueke, Tolu, Yokeres, and Mateta. Truffair, 9 dirty stinking point on my bench. And I'm starting Timber out here in these streets. So tell me about believing in Arsenal's team. I was like, we're gonna get a clean sheet. All right, and then Yakins, this one I'm struggling badly in. So you see the gap already about 70 odd points. Not doing well enough at all. And this team need major surgery, I think. Cucurella, Munoz, Spence. Spence barely play. Endoy, Rogers, Zubimendi, Xavi, Simmons. I mean, Mateta, the only person to give me anything in this team this week. So really, Truffair again, wasted on my bench. So bad decisions, wasted points. Not the best week. Need to definitely step it up in this one, especially. Not doing good at all. Second to last, no, sir. That not gonna work. All right, so now let's go to the traditional. As you can see, too close to the average. Anytime you're that close to the average, your week was not good. So let's look at the different leagues that I'm in. So we're used to seeing first and on all these lists, but we've had a bit of a change due to the bad week. I mean, second in the King of Jamaica, Emil Smith. I haven't seen this person pass me now by 11 points, so still doing okay. Only two of us in 300-point territory. So that's not terrible. King of Jamaica. Then this one now. So this one full of people, all right? Let me show you how many people in it. 559 people. So 559 people in it, right? And I'm in 29th, I think it said. What did it say? Yeah, 29th. So not too bad. 305, the leader is at 336. Not crazy. Not crazy. Right. So that's that one, 29th. Now sports DTM. This is T got them now. I'm in third. But very close to the leaders right now. But the 45 definitely open up things. T got right there in fourth with a 58 this week. Not too bad at all. And then I am first in a couple of leagues still, thankfully. So my sports world have a 2-point lead there. Nothing to really be so happy about. And in my own league, parity is restored. Thankfully, my cousin had a worse week than me, and Drew Russ made up some ground into second place. There's Tigat again in fourth in this one. So, yeah, not the best week this week. I see some big weeks here. Ball Pre got a 71, played his bench boost and got good numbers from his bench. So, yeah, that makes sense. Matty Cash as well. So, people did some things for him this week. So, a good week for him. Dima with a good week as well. Played a wild card to get his 67 points. Stash came to big time for him. Benching Randers wasn't the best move though. Who else had a big week? Let me see what he got have go on. So Nico Williams and Cash scored. Gay had an assist. Randers assist. Haaland score. So yeah, a lot of people put in some work for him to get that score. And that is it, people. My team this week, by the grace of God, somehow. So I'm gonna have no team of the week, people. But Senesi, Semenyo, Ryan, Salah, captain armband. But look at the bench. Dorgo and Anderson would have been better than who I played. And of course, I'm one of the people that had to suffer through Robert Sanchez being their starter. So yeah, it was a rough week for me. But 45 points to get 45 out of this week. The good thing is I have a transfer loaded up now that I never use. So I'll have 2 this week if I don't want to go with a wild card or a free hit. The 2 chips that I don't play yet in the first half of the season. So a lot of thinking to do. And the lesson that I learned this week is don't wait to do the fantasy until Friday night after I do the live show because I will not make it. You see it? I will not make it, bro. Look like Liverpool are gonna win the league. No, don't say that, Red Skull. You are you believe more than anybody, man. Come on. Because I work, man, couldn't even make a prediction last Friday, bro. When they tune in, great show. Arteta make me draw today. This manager, cheese and peace, man. I tell you, the man piss me off. Big up, Red Skull. We hold the reasoning again next week because I don't know. We're headed to St. James Park now. So, what the hell am I going to do at St. James Park? Is he going to just park another bus? We'll find out that and much more Friday when we bring the preview show to you on Friday this week. EFL Cup action also. Europa and Conference League get started up. And also, tomorrow there's a big matchup in France. Marseille taking on PSG. 2 o'clock my time. That should be a good one, people. So if you just want to watch a game, find a good game to watch. Trust me, that should be a cracker. PSG and Marseille, the 2, what looks to be the 2 top dogs in France this season. So Big up to each and every one of you that tuned in, whether late, whether early, whether all throughout, whether for 5 seconds, whether for 5 hours, whether for 5 minutes. We appreciate every view, every like, every click. It all matters in the algorithm, people. So Jason Gooner TV is happy for each and every view, happy for all the engagement in the chat. Big up to the regulars, them. You don't know, Red Skull, Hot Chili, Pristine, Jagans, Float Management, DJ Gigs, Biggs G, I had one, Duckland, all the foundation people, and big up on yourself. Mr. Battered, thanks for tuning in over there in Asia. Big up yourself. And yeah, man, just stay tuned to the content, turn on bell notifications. You don't know. We can't be on we can't be on stream every single day like some of the people that are really rate that do the YouTube just because of how the live setup right now. But you don't know, people working towards something. So while we're doing that, just grow with us, build with us, and you're gonna get quality when I do a show. That's what you can count on. All right, people. So big up yourself. Thanks so much again for tuning in. And until next time, I'm Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. We are out of here. Arteta, stop. Grown man.